What's up, everyone? It's Hey John, and I jabber opportunities nonstop. Today, I want to discuss a new coin, something that you guys may know as Reflex Coin. And the reason why I want to cover them is because, well, we have something called the Reflection Wars, and it seems like it will never end. And that's fun and dandy and everything. So I decided to do some research. By research, I mean I went into the Twitter spaces, I listened to them talk, had a few questions. And of course, I went to the AMA this past Sunday and I listened in to see what they're saying and all the questions that were divulged. And let me share with you guys some of my opinions, purely opinions. Nothing is factual because, as you know, these are just talks on Twitter spaces and on the Telegram AMA. So when I first went to the Twitter AMA, I heard them talk and they were discussing all sorts of things like, hey, this is our token. This is what we're all about. We're all about community. We have all these individuals like Mrs. Crypto Rabbit, Moneymaker Mod, Miles, Cryptfu, the CEO, etc. And they all have an integral part in the Reflex project. Now, what were they discussing? Well, I was very curious because I would see people like Monkey, and Monkey is a mod, and I recall seeing him in the EGC Twitter spaces back in the day with Mrs. Crypto Rabbit during the EGC days. I remember Monkey being this individual who's a little bit more quiet, and then when he spoke up about Miles, he seemed to have an extraordinary amount of respect for the man, and I didn't know why. And then Monkey said, I was also in the military, and I understand what all those badges mean on Miles' chest. And me not being in the military, I had no idea what they mean. To me, they could just be emblems. They could be anything, right? I mean, I'm sure they mean something, but for me, I have no idea. So I decided to ask Monkey, hey, in the Twitter spaces, why are you so interested in the project and why do you believe in it so much? So Monkey said something very astounding and very interesting to me because he was explaining some of those badges, and I will not go into detail about it because I do not remember because there's too much to know, but I do recall something about a Mustang, etc., etc. Miles has been in the trenches and he moves on up while being with all the grunts. And what this means to me, or at least what it infers, is that Miles has no problem getting dirty and learning from the ground up. And Miles was very forthcoming in these AMAs and Twitter spaces. He simply put that I'm relying on my team to catch me up to speed, to give me the knowledge that I do not currently possess. And he's very upfront about that. Now, whether or not that's a good thing or bad thing, that's up to you, but at least the man is being transparent and he's well-spoken. So with that being said, from a person from an outside in, not being in the inner circle, this gives me a sense of belief and a sense of conviction that, hey, you know what, this guy can't be all that bad. And seeing as how he's in the military, well, guess what, folks? I believe 20 plus years. So that shows some dedication to any endeavor he will take. And the man has said himself, hey, you know what? I plan on being here for a long haul. I plan on being accountable for everything I say, etc., etc., etc. So maybe him being in the military and him saying that possibly holds some weight. But the truth is, we have to wait and see to see how it plays out. As of right now on paper, it sounds great. And you know what? I have no other reason to not believe you. So in this perspective, it shows a leadership in Reflex Coin that, you know what, there is something there. And the reason why I believe there's something there compared to the other coins coming out, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to give FUD to any other project, anything bad about them. But the point being is that we have something different in Reflex. You have a spokesperson who's been in the military for 20 plus years. I believe he's a major. And this shows a high rank. And this individual is willing to go in the mud and learn and grow. And he said himself also, quote unquote, Miles said that when I made a mistake, I got promoted because I showed intuition in terms of what I was doing. So with that being said, Miles is being very forthcoming in my opinion when he says, you know what, I will also make mistakes in this project, but I will have folks behind me who know better, and we can discuss as a hive and we can come to the best possible outcome and conclusion. With that being said, another difference between this project and any other project is the fact that we have Mrs. Crypto Rabbit from EGC moderator coming on board here. And then you have Moneymaker from RMTX as a mod as well coming over to Reflex. And the question is, why did they come over? Well, in the AMA and the Twitter spaces, they didn't say it directly, but if you can read in between the lines, Mrs. Crypto Rabbit and Money Mod Maker mentioned that they would give out input and suggestions, and for some reason, the leadership listened and they implemented those changes. And from what I can understand, and by reading in between the lines, is that they like that in terms of leadership and community. So maybe that is why they wanted to onboard. But of course, this is purely and merely my speculation. I have not spoken to Moneymaker Mod or Crypto Rabbit directly. Again, these are just my inferences and my reading in between the lines. I could be completely wrong or I could be completely right. But again, I want to emphasize these are merely my opinions. I'm not trying to spread any kind of rumors, but I'm just sharing with you guys. Again, I want to emphasize my thoughts and opinions about this project. Another thing I want to note here is that even though they are a pre-ICO and a pre-Pink Cell token and it hasn't even been launched yet, I have never seen the amount of traction on a pre-token before. I'm getting messages, DMs, cover this, cover this, cover that. And I was like, what is this about, guys? Why do you guys care so much? So after looking a little deeper into it and attending these two virtual spaces in a sense and hearing them talk and dialogue, I can kind of see the community rallying behind this, and I can see and sense their enthusiasm in terms of them waiting to buy this token. And as we know, currently we are in a bear market in terms of everything pulling down, so this may be the most exciting thing in the KuCoin market as of the moment. So this could be a recipe for success for Reflex Coin. And I also did want to note that they currently have 6,200 Telegram members. Now, I've looked at other projects like Y5, they have about like 4,000 plus, and they have 4,000 plus hodlers. I've seen Rematic, I've seen Reflex has about 4,000 plus Telegram members, and they have 4,000 plus hodlers. So with this being said, and using this as a possible and very rudimentary barometer, does this mean that we will have 6,200 plus Reflex hodlers on day 1, day 2, day 3, the first week? I don't know. We have to wait and see, but this project is definitely having the momentum and hype around it. People are talking about this nonstop. The bees are buzzing and the people are ready to throw their discounted BNB into Reflex Coin. Gauging from the interest on the interwebs, Twitter, my DMs, etc., and talking to people I know in real life about Reflex Coin, and they're super into it, and I asked them why, I'm getting very similar responses, and this feels very similar to the early EGC days. Now, by no means am I saying this is going to be the next EGC or anything, but I'm getting the same vibes and the same intuition about that. Now, I did want to emphasize this is merely my intuition and what I believe could happen. I could be completely wrong, and that's a-okay too, but I did want to make sure that I am very forthcoming and transparent about this. Everything I said right here is literally my opinion. I had no direct contact with Rabbit or Money Mod Maker in terms of what I said about them, but I do believe that many people who do not have contact with them, they may be seeing and thinking the same thing. And as you know, just like with chart analysis and technical analysis, if enough people believe it, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The best way for you guys to support the channel is by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Get $250 in Bitcoin using my BlockFi link down below in the description, blockfi.com/heyjohn. Get 2 free stocks courtesy of WEBULL. Get $25 in Crow, crypto.com. And most importantly, have an awesome day, and I will catch you all on the next one.